Joining me now is Victor Gao. He's chair professor at Soochow University. Victor, first I want you to talk to us about the China-Indonesia relationship and how it has progressed in recent years.
Thank you very much for having me. First of all, allow me to congratulate the successful conclusion of the APEC summit in Indonesia. We need to give credit to the president of Indonesia and the Indonesian government for really doing an excellent job in hosting this summit meeting. Secondly, talking about China-Indonesia relations, China attaches great importance to Indonesia. Why? Several reasons. One is that Indonesia is the largest Muslim country in the world. Secondly, in Indonesia, we have the largest overseas Chinese diaspora. So there is a lot of exchange in terms of goods, services, and people to people, etc. And more recently, China is working very closely with Indonesia in beefing up its infrastructure connectivity. The Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway is just one of these examples. And I'm pretty sure that going forward, there'll be more such cooperation projects between China and Indonesia. And our two countries are very much closely related to the South China Sea, and we really have exchanges over hundreds, if not more than 1,000 years history. Therefore, I think President Xi Jinping's participation in the summit and his very close meeting and intimate meeting with the Indonesian president, I think have laid down the more solid foundation for these two countries to develop further relations in the forward. The cornerstone of the China-Indonesia relations is mutual respect. Both countries treat each other as an equal, and we respect each other. We respect each other's sensitive issues, for example, and we want to do whatever we can to make sure both countries are winners, and we are always very closely connected through this ASEAN. Indonesia is the largest economy within ASEAN, having the largest population, and this makes China-ASEAN cooperation even more important because of Indonesia's connection with ASEAN.
Well, you mentioned ASEAN. I mean, this is part of China's greater engagement in Southeast Asia. Talk to us about this engagement with China's neighbors in this area. Even during the pandemic, we saw a lot of diplomatic exchanges between leaders of China and these other ASEAN countries.
Well, between China and ASEAN, I think we have all the logic, all the reason, all the geography, all the historical background, you name it, all combined together to make a cooperation and the intimate relations between China and ASEAN countries very, very important. We have 3 ASEAN member states which are land neighboring countries with China, and the remaining 7 are more or less maritime neighboring countries of China through the South China Sea. And historically speaking, there has always been very intimate and close exchanges between China and all the 10 ASEAN countries. And I think our history is a history of peaceful coexistence, relatively speaking, mutual respect, rather than any country, for example, elbowing out the other participant. And I think this makes China-ASEAN relations very, very important. ASEAN is China's largest trading partner for the several years in the past, surpassing the United States and then surpassing EU as a whole. This means that our exchanges are not only in terms of people to people and cultural, historical exchanges and connections, but both treat each other as the very most important trading partner. And then, given the fact that China has achieved a rapid development in science and technology, I think China and ASEAN countries can really work to enrich themselves by sharing their best practices and expertise and helping each other to upgrade themselves, relatively speaking, so that they can move forward in proportion to each other.
All right, Victor Gao, always great to get your take. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.